Okay, welcome back to Fast Jet Performance then. Who's the doctor they told you to go see? Dr. FJP, and I am back in session delivering medication to the nation as we talk about aviation. And a young man has written me today. He's got a problem with the application process to the Royal Air Force. His medical records are kind of getting stuck. So what I'm going to do today then is I'm just going to talk to you about how we can further that process along. I know you don't want to watch a 10-minute video, but the military is about perseverance, it's about purpose, it's about application. So maybe just listen to what a former senior Royal Air Force flying instructor has to tell you about what you need to do to move the application forward. And in that first comment down below, I'm going to give you a template for a letter to send to complaints team, to send to your MP. We're going to get this moving forward. Let's jump straight in. Now, I'm going to read you the email. It's very short, but before I do, just look. The armed forces are looking to cut all that red tape that you're going through. They realize they're not getting the best people in. We've done the diversity thing. That's kind of ended now, to be fair. Probably just trickling through, but it's not there for much longer. But look, they want a faster, easier recruitment system to get good people into the military, all right? Because we need that, because they're smaller than ever and we're really not getting the kind of quality that we need in. So the new recruitment service will streamline the process for candidates, but look, it's going to be launching in 2027. It doesn't help my boy Jay here at all, so we've got to just obviously address what he's looking at. Single entry point for prospective recruits. They're looking to get you an answer super quick. Down here, in fact, it says in this bit, look, we're looking to get someone an answer within a conditional officer within 10 days and a confirmation of a training start date within 30 days. This should have happened years ago, but of course we allow Capita, unfortunately, to run this. And we know as soon as these big companies have that contract, they fall asleep. They want nothing more to really do with it at all. I understand that. Let's have a look at the email real quick then. So confidentiality when people write to me, guys, and I can't answer all of you. I've got other stuff going on in my life right now, but within my school, I do have a section that really does address this. So this is my school. I run it on Discord. It's Shadowlands Online Flying Training School. And I think it's like $10 a month experiential. A lot of guys join here. I will blank out the names of these people who are obviously joining, that you will see in here. I don't want their names. But anyone in blue, basically. You've got some red names there, but there are some blue names in this as well. And they're in a section here called OASC and Future Military Chat. And what happens in here is the guys say, hey, look, I went to OASC, I went to AIB, I went to Sandhurst, this is my experiences. And they put it all in there and they talk about it. I answer a lot of questions in here, obviously, but it's a really useful resource if you are applying to the military. Hi, FJP. I was wondering if you could cover an ongoing issue which has been plaguing myself and many others trying to join up. I'm currently trying to join the RAF, and with the Capita medical assessment, I have been to do the face-to-face twice and have only have to improve an aspect of him, let's say, to pass that section. It's, like kind of reach, that kind of stuff. He has to pass that section, okay? However, on the side of them reviewing medical records, it's been a back and forth since October last year between my GP and Capita. My GP saying they've sent the invoice and Capita saying they haven't received it, even though I've given my GP the exact contact email I've been using. Now, Capita has said they'll no longer be doing chase-ups as it's past their contractual obligation, and I need to do it myself, even though I having gone to my GP 10 times to liaise and catch up with them about it. At this point, I don't know what to do, hence he's writing to me, and it seems that the ball is firmly in their court. I've been informed that some of my friends, or by some of my friends, that they have had similar issues as of late. Evidently, it seems to me that this could be a very large attributing factor of why we have a recruitment crisis. May have been the reason that thousands close their applications, and we know we've seen that before, don't we? As it shouldn't take months upon months for them to receive some medical documents, and glaringly shows how inadequate Capita is as a contractor, and I've said this many times before on this channel. Thanks for reading my message. Keep fighting the good fight, and I hope to hear from you soon. Jay, now listen, this is the drama. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to talk you through some points. There's 7 points and I will talk you through them. Stay with the video. It's not going to be too long. And then in that first comment, I'm going to give you a template, 2 templates, a letter template and an email template. You can copy, paste, put your name in there instead of this guy here, and you're going to be absolutely fine. It's going to be in the first comment, guys. In the first comment, look at the top comment. I'll pin the comment. Use that. Let's hammer these people, all right? Because you deserve better. You deserve to be in that military. And the military, more importantly, deserves to have people like you that stick to the end of this video to see what I'm saying, copy that template and whack it in. All right, let's do it. The first thing I'm going to say then, this is a classic case of bureaucracy failing potential recruits, and we've seen it a lot. I'm reading from my screen here because I've got no way of really putting these up on a screen, and it doesn't really matter if I do. I'll just put a banner on the bottom for each one of these 7 points. It's happening far too often. Capita handling the military recruitment, I would say, has been a massive failure, as has the diversity thing, which has really stopped a lot of people applying to the military because they want to be seen and they want to be promoted and they want to be recruited on merit and not the colour of their skin. That's or their gender, if you want to use gender. I don't really believe too much about that. The first point then. Escalate the issue through RAF recruitment channels. I know that's not an easy thing to do. If you've got an armed forces recruitment careers office in your town, go into them. It's just part of the process, guys. Present yourself with your story straight and say, can I have some advice, please? All right. Contact RF recruitment directly. Obviously, this is guys applying for the RF, and explain the situation. They might have a liaison officer in the town. As I said, go and start there. That's just a formality. Go and talk to them about it. Ask their advice. This is happening. What are they likely to say to you? It's not us, mate. It's Capita. We know that. I'm talking about the formality. Go and present. I'd like some advice. Always ask advice. Ask them, what would you do if you were me? Because they've all applied in the past. Probably not through Capita, but they've all applied in the past. What would you do if you were me? Hello, knock, knock, Armed Forces Careers Office. Yeah, I'm just wondering whether I get some advice, please. Of course you can. I'm happy to give advice, mate. I've got this problem. I'm wondering what you would do if you were me. Oh, okay. And they're going to give you some advice. Formality. You've done that. The reason we do that is because Capita are going to ask whether you've done it. The Air Force are going to ask whether you've done it. And you can say, yes, I did. I presented to the Careers Office on this date with this particular question. Good. Happy? Good. Point two, file a formal complaint against Capita. This is not in any way going to jeopardize your application. Don't think it is. There's nowhere else, guys. Right now, you're not joining the military anyway, right? So file a formal complaint against Capita. It has a complaints procedure. We need to put complaints in. If you don't put complaints in, then the MPs and the government and the military don't see the failure that's happening. This is why we need to complain if we can. Put the complaints in. Formally log the complaint in writing. That's another top tip. I would like to formally log this complaint in writing. In the first comment, I'm giving you templates about how to do that. In the first comment, it's a pinned comment. Then request a case review and written confirmation of why they are refusing to chase up the GP's response. Can you hear what I'm saying here? This is point 2. Request a case review and written confirmation of why they are refusing to chase up the GP's response. I can't put this all in writing, guys. You've got to listen to what I'm saying and you've got to make notes and you've got to rewind the video because you want to be in the military. And this is what we do. If you're doing this and someone isn't doing it, you're getting to the military and they won't. So listen to what I'm saying. I've been there. All right. You're looking at someone who should never have been in the military. I failed my A levels. I had to grift and graft to get in to the Royal Navy back in the day. Good service, by the way. Don't just look at the Air Force, look at the Navy as well. If you get no satisfactory response, request an escalation to a senior manager. That's the other point. I can't keep putting all this stuff on the screen because it's not worth my while making this video. I'm trying to help you out. Number 3, write to the Parliamentary and Health Service Ombudsman. Okay, it's a hard word for me to say. Don't take the piss. If Capita continues to delay the process, and it looks like they probably will, then file a complaint with the Parliamentary and Health Service Ombudsman. Listen to what I'm telling you now. That's the PHSO. There's a web address, and again, I'll try and put some of these details in that first comment. Now, since Capita is working under a contract for the Ministry of Defence, this could qualify as a failure in the public service provision. Does that make sense? They're failing in the public service provision, in providing for the public service. That's number 3. So you need to do that. You need to write to the Parliamentary and Health Service Ombudsman. When you tell them, or if they find out, or if they know you're writing to an ombudsman, it doesn't matter whether it's your electricity company, your water board, whether it's your bank. It doesn't matter whether your complaint is upheld or it's valid. The more complaints they get to an ombudsman, the more they get looked at. That's what's so important, guys. That's why you need to do it. So if you get a gas bill, you're like, this is ridiculous, and you're not getting any traction from the company. Look, I want you to check my meter. It's all a bit wrong. I'm not interested in checking that. If you write to them, well, I'm going to write to the ombudsman, you will get a better response. Believe me, okay, I do that, but I only do it when I need to do it. If I'm not getting a proper response, I say, should I go to the ombudsman with this? You will get a senior manager on the phone, and they will try and not get you to go to the ombudsman, because just by you writing to the ombudsman, that has a tangible effect on their business. So you can say, look, if I don't get a response from this, I think I might have to go to the ombudsman. The next bit, though, is quite important, guys. We don't do this enough. Number 4, raise the issue with your MP, Member of Parliament. Right, this is the kind of systemic failure that MPs should be alerted to. MPs need to know this, because if they don't know this kind of stuff, the country doesn't run properly. I know whether the country runs properly now or not is a completely moot point. I get you, okay? I talk about this all day on my channel. So you should write a formal letter. It's in the first comment. I can't help you out anymore. To your local member of parliament, explaining how Capita is impacting national defence recruiting. There's a letter in the first comment. Stop writing to me about it. It's in the first comment, guys. Now, the MP can raise the issue with the the Minister of Defence and People and Veterans, or bring it up in Parliament, okay? And they probably will as well, because this is a very serious thing right now, the defence of the nation, and the lack of good quality, talented people in there, and more important, the amount of people leaving. Like, I've been asked to rejoin. I'm not going to rejoin, and I'm explaining why in another video, but don't worry about it. I'm 50 now. It's very different, me being 50 going back in the military, and you being in your 20s going back in the military. Don't look at why I'm not going to go back as to why you shouldn't, because you should. It's a good career. That's number 4 then, raising it to an MP. Number 5, if you can, use social media and REF forums. There's quite a few out there. There's P-Prune and some other stuff, isn't there? If others are experiencing the same issue, gather evidence from them. My school is one of them, by the way. A lot of people in the school there learn from other people, and that helps them drive it. And yeah, I do charge $10 a month, because I've got to deal with your whole stuff that you're going to talk to me about, and I've got to talk to you about it now. I do charge money for it because it's a flying school. It's a job. That's my job. But you haven't got to go there. There's other places you can go. Social media, Twitter, X, LinkedIn. You can write on there. Look, this is the problem. Has anyone got any advice? I'd always ask advice. You empower people when you do that. Okay, I'm asking advice. I'm giving you some advice right now, because this man has asked me for advice. I'll give this man some advice. Don't just rage on these things. That's immature, and it's conduct unbecoming of someone that should be serving under His Majesty the King. Right, so let's not rage about it on there. I rage now because I'm trying to do something positive, and I've done my service for 20 years. Don't tarnish yourself with this. Okay, go in there, head held high. You need answers. You're asking advice. So ask advice on Twitter, ask advice on LinkedIn. Hey guys, this is my problem, and this is what I'm doing about it. Any more advice? People will give you advice. That's a positive thing. Engage with RF related forums and Facebook groups. I've said that already, because you'll find others in the same situation as you will in my school. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. And you'll go, oh, I'm not alone. Okay, you're not alone. Number 6, and the 6 and 7, that's us done. Number 6, request a subject access request. A subject access request. If Capita claims they haven't received the medical records, this man should submit a subject access request to Capita under the Data Protection Act. This forces them, you have to Google that, by the way, of how to do that. This forces them to provide all the records related to his application. You'll get everything, potentially proving they are mishandling the documentation. That's 6. Request a subject access request. Very important, because they have to give you everything. You can do that with a lot of things, by the way, doctor and everything, all that kind of stuff. All Facebook, whatever you've got, I want my history. They've got to give it to you, right? Because it's under the Data Protection Act. Number 7, and the last one, thank you for standing by this video. That has been running now for about 15 minutes. We'll finish it now. I would be careful of this one. I do it a lot, because I run my own business and I can't be sacked from a job. I've been sacked already, okay? So the worst that ever could happen to me has happened already. Problems with the marriage because of it, everything else. But I run my own business now. I'm responsible for my own future, etc. But you could consider involving the press. You could. It won't harm your application unless you're on TV raging about the Air Force that you haven't joined. But you could lean on the press. And the way we do this is, right, at the moment, the military recruitment is the crisis is a big topic. We know that. You've seen it going on there. I'm talking about it on YouTube, as is retention, a big topic. It's happening to a lot of people. It is newsworthy, and you could consider contacting a journalist. Google them. Telegraph, Times, Forces News, anywhere about that, exposing this particular failure with Capita, and you can say, I don't want to be identified. All right, they don't have to use your name. They don't have to. Deborah Haynes on Sky does a lot of this stuff. massive bee in her bonnet about this kind of thing, but she's probably doing some other stuff like Ukraine and stuff right now. So it's probably not worth contacting her. But there are people, Daily Mail, people like that, lean on those guys, and they may be interested in building a case together, which may put some weight on it. Now, my last thought on this, and I'm going to leave you. Don't forget the templates are going to be in that first comment. Leave your comments in there below. I probably can't answer them all because I am super busy as a tiger, guys. I need to get this video out. This isn't about, oh, look at this video, it's going to make 200,000 views. It's not. It's about me trying to help people who are trying to join the military because I believe we need a strong military. Okay, we do. We absolutely do. And it's a great career. Go and do it. Be the change that the military needs to see. All right, really make a difference. But look, we know things are changing. We know Capita has been heavily criticized for how they have mismanaged the recruitment into the military. It's a fact. Once they get the contract, they don't care anymore. We know that, all right? So they have been heavily criticized for the mismanagement of military recruitment. This particular case of Jay is a classic example. I get loads of these things, 100%. I get loads of them. If you follow those above 7 steps and you escalate through the Royal Air Force recruitment, I'm touching base, asking advice, right into the MP, the Parliamentary Health and Service Ombudsman, which is a really powerful one to do. That was step 3, by the way. Maybe social media, maybe not. Requesting the subject access request is a really important one as well. Maybe the press, maybe not. I probably wouldn't do the press if you're, quite young. You could write a letter, but don't get interviewed or anything. Then you've got a really good chance of getting this rectified, especially if other people are doing it as well. All right. So that's all I'm talking about. I get a lot of these emails, and I will refer each one of these emails back to this video. It's one of the reasons I make this video is I haven't got to answer 1,000 emails. There is help in my school if you need it. There's help elsewhere as well. I will put in the first comment a template letter. I'll put these 7 points. I'll put a template letter with any links I've got that might be useful to you in the first comment. Guys, leave some comments if you want to. I'll try and get some other videos out for you if I possibly can in the future. Really appreciate it, guys. Tim Davies, Fast Jet Performance.